Gillian Keegan's sweary outburst yesterday got me thinking, do politicians ever deserve a thank you? I actually liked Keegan's quite human reaction yesterday. I know a lot of our viewers did too, even if they don't actually think she's doing a particularly good job. But the argument would be that they are public servants, MPs, who dedicate their lives to the nation and their constituents. They don't get rich. They give up their right to a private life. Their entire family and their finances is put under the microscope. And when they get a ministerial position, they often inherit an absolute mess and have to carry the can for it. So if you look at it like that, then it is quite literally a thankless task. But I think that's looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, isn't it? Because from where I'm sitting, the job of a politician should be to do what the public votes for and then act in their best interests. And I don't think that happens. The people voted for Brexit. Do we thank our politicians for making an absolute horlicks of it, trying to overturn it, talking Britain down and trying to sabotage this country's future because they didn't get the result they want? The public, at every opportunity, vote for a party that says it wants to reduce net migration and stop illegal immigration. We've opened the floodgates, record levels of immigration at the expense of all of our public services, our housing stock and our culture. We are unable to get to grips with what's been going on in the Channel, and quite frankly, the world clearly thinks we have open borders and we are there for the taking. Should we be thanking politicians for that? Should we be thanking them for letting Britain get mullered by the world? On a similar note about immigration, politicians are terrified of the word recession. They're terrified of spreadsheets. So they want mass immigration so that they can talk about growth and GDP, conveniently ignoring the fact that we are actually worse off per capita. In that very direct sense, chancellors especially put their own vested interests above that of the nation. Thank you very much for making us poorer so that you look better to your banker mates. ULEZ, another net zero big green agenda stuff, saying it's all about clean air and the planet. Are we supposed to say thank you for sometimes using quite questionable science to inflict financial pain on the poorest in society, or not bothering to actually update the infrastructure we need to hit the arbitrary targets that you came up with? Thanks a lot. COVID lockdowns and the vaccine pressure. Thanks a lot for not giving us a cost-benefit analysis of lockdown, for caving into a lot of media pressure, for scaring the heck out of everyone again with, at times, pretty sketchy data. This schools issue right now sums up the calibre of political leadership that we've had for a very long time in this country. The dodgy concrete has been known about for a heck of a long time, and nobody did anything about it because they didn't want to have to handle it on their watch. They knew that if they kicked that can down the road long enough, then it would be somebody else's problem. And it isn't just schools where this is the case. The NHS, housing, public transport. They let it get to crisis point before they have to act. Should we be thanking them for that? For being too scared to grasp the nettle of a bit of bad press, the odd negative headline, instead just putting sticking plasters over gaping wounds until it just gushes out like a severed artery? Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are just a few examples. Now, if our politicians want our thanks, then frankly, they have to do a better job. If they worked in business or in your job, if they were managing your department and they ran it as badly as they run this country, they'd be getting their P45 sharpish.